Hi everybody, it's Amy White with Worthy Written Words, and today we're going to work on this November Cultivate Kit layout, our Prophet Deer. There's a few leftover page kits if you're interested, and I'm going to replicate the same layout today in my pink Journal Edition Book of Mormon from Deseret Book. The first one was in my green one. So this is what comes in the kit. You've got your devotional written by myself and Heather Sherrington. And then you have this kit contents card as well as a demo photo of what it can look like, and all this other stuff we'll just put to the side. We'll start first with the deer cutout and the Stickles gold glitter glue. And the reason we're doing this first is because that's going to take a few hours to dry. And so after you've put this glue on the antlers, just stick it to the side somewhere, maybe even overnight, and let that fully dry before you attach it to your book. We're going to open up to 1 Nephi chapter 22, and we're going to take this wood grain distress cardstock and cut it to be the correct length of whatever book you're using. So if it's a line upon line, you probably won't want to cut it at all. And normally I do this with a paper cutter, but it's not really that far of a cut, so I just cut it real quick with some scissors to make it match the length of my book. And then with a piece of scrap paper behind it and this Distress Stain by Tim Holtz in Vintage Photo, I'm just going to apply it directly to the cardstock. And the more layers or the more pressure you put on it, the darker it will be. After I'm done putting all of the ink on the cardstock, I'm going to shoot it real quick with my Ranger heat gun to dry the ink. And then I'm going to attach it to my margin as well as this buffalo print oval cardstock using these adhesive squares. And they're just double-sided sticky tape that I just put on my hands and then put on whatever I'm using to attach it to a page. But I forgot before doing this part to attach the mystery item from the kit, which is these brad screws. And to attach them, I'm going to attach them by poking 2 holes at the top of my cardstock with a pair of scissors. And then you punch them through the little holes and you open up the brads on the back and make sure that they're really flat. And then you can attach them to your page. Now the brads don't have to go here. I've seen people use them later on in the layout on the tab at the top. That looks really cute. I just didn't know where else to put them. I wanted to use them, and so I stuck them there where there wasn't anything else on the cardstock. So again, I'm going to attach the oval using, I call them photo splits from back in the days when I did Creative Memories, way back when. But you just use that, and it's the same thing with the quote. Again, just attaching all of these little paper pieces with these double-sided sticky tape. You can put it wherever you want, but I put mine right there. And then I'm going to take this clear corner flower sticker and I'm going to carefully lift it up off the page. Some of the stickers remained on, and that's fine. You can choose to add them additionally or leave it just without them. So you can see I take them and just attach them next to the big piece. Super easy. And then our Prophet Deer sticker, again, super easy. I put it in the footnotes. This layout's going to go really quick. So here you have a double-sided tab. You can choose which side you want to go. One is the flower, matches with the flowers, and the other is buffalo print. And then I use these little word strip stickers. I'm using the word prophet, the individual letters. And a tip is to use one of the stickers, the leftover scraps from the stickers, and line up these letters the way you want them to look so that the majority is hanging off the paper, but just the tip of it at the bottom is hanging on, sticking onto that paper, so that when you're done, you can line it up exactly where you want it on that tab. You can center it, figure out where it goes best, and then when you know where you want it, press it down and pull the rest of it off, and then it's perfectly on there. And then using a Jelly Roll black pen, I'm going to outline each sticker individually. And I always like to wipe the gunk off just on my hand because I'm lazy, but you could wipe any gunk on the pen off on a piece of scrap paper if you want. And on these, to get the double doodled effect, I'm drawing right on top of the stickers themselves. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach that again with the photo splits. The watercolor print from Russel M needs to be trimmed, and so using a paper cutter, I just trim it to the size that I want it to be. And people can attach this right to the cardstock if they want. I'm going to attach it later on, and instead I'm going to pull out the deer. I've had it sit overnight, as well as this smaller flower sticker, and I'm going to carefully pull that off and attach that to the deer in the middle of the antlers. And I like to have the danglies down so you can see them better. And then using these pop dots, you'll have 3 or 4. You really only need 3. I'm going to put them on the back. They're just double-sided, again, sticky tape, but they are like little foam circles, so it'll help the deer to pop up off the page. And I'm going to just give it some support right there on the back and peel off the other sticky part, and then place it in the middle of my oval, and then it's ready to go. And those antlers will flatten out. And then I take my half tab and some more word strips. I'm going to use my favorite scripture in that series, and I'm going to attach it to the watercolor portrait. And doing the same thing I did before using the Jelly Roll pen, I'm going to outline the scripture. You could choose a different scripture or a word, whatever you like best. And you don't even have to attach this to, you could put it, on the quote, or you could put it somewhere else. It doesn't have to go to the watercolor portrait, but that's where I decided to put mine. And the watercolor portrait you can get from at Sweetly Sketched Etsy shop. And she's also on Instagram. And I'm just going to attach that with photo splits. And you'll see that I attach it to one side of this watercolor, but then I end up moving it to the other side because I had something else I decided to do. When I originally made this layout, the empty space on the distress cardstock at the top bothered me, and so I didn't know what to put on it. And I had a user who came out with their layout before I had made this video, and I loved what she did, and so I ended up in this particular video using her idea. She took her bow from the packaging and put it right on the cardstock, which I thought was adorable, and so I decided to add it to this video to show you guys what a cute idea it is. If you don't like it, you can leave it plain the way I originally had it and the way it shows up on your example page. And I believe that was from Maggie, and I'm going to butcher her last name, Maggie Goabel. I hope I'm saying that right. But so here's what she did, and then I just switched the tab over so you could see. And then just underline the verses. So I did, I, Nephi, had read these things which were engraven upon the plates of brass, because he got his inspiration from the plates of brass, which were the words of the prophets. And we just had our general conference, and so it was like the same for us, where we got our inspiration from general conference. And then in verse 2, it talks about how the prophet gets his inspiration, his revelation from the Spirit. And so that's what I thought was important to me. If you want it to be perfectly straight, you can use a ruler to underline those. And I just attached that ribbon with a shot of hot glue. Super easy. And I put the watercolor print back up at the top using the deer paper clip bookmark that came in the kit. And then you're done. That's it. This is an easy, fast kit to do. I hope you guys liked it, and we'll see you next time.